Welcome back to week five recap here of our TribPreps video series. My name is Alex VandenHouten, sports reporter here at the Lacrosse Tribune. To my left is Todd Sommerfeldt, once again sports editor at the Lacrosse Tribune, and a lot of action to recap here in week five. A lot of good stuff going on, but right now let's quickly run through the list of games.
Not a lot of close games.
Not a lot of close games. Thankfully, Todd, you're right. One good one at least.
Yes, yes.
So we'll get to that one obviously coming up here, but run through the scores real quick. Logan picked up their first MVC win over West Salem, 28-0. On Alaska, 21, Sparta 14. Todd was at that game. We'll get to that game shortly. Holman 49, Toma 0. Aquinas won their fourth straight game, 42-13 over Iowa Grant. Darlington beat up on Alaska Luther 34-9. Bangor took care of business over New Lisbon 55-12. Hillsborough picks up a win over Cashton 16-14. Brookwood handles Necedo with little issues 48-0. GET once again staying strong in the South Central, rolling along. Moss was probably the top competitor, wasn't it?
Pulled away late. Moss hung in that game for a while, and GET buried him late.
Yeah, we'll talk about that game a little bit. GET 40, Boston 21. Blackwater Falls picks up their first victory of the 2019 season, 39-14 over Nakusa. Prairie du Chien beats Arcadia 30-12. Platteville 46, Baroka 14, Westby 47, Dodgeville 14. First win for Westby this season as well. Caledonia, which is the game I was at, handled Chatfield rather easily, 41-8. And then over to Dairyland, we have Independence. We didn't get that one, did we?
Blair Taylor won that one big.
Did they? Okay.
49-0.
49-0, yeah, I think that's right.
Something like that.
And Augusta defeated Melmin, which is big news at Dairyland, 8-6.
Melrose had won 23 conference games in a row. Augusta brings end to that winning streak there.
And Melmin had a close call last week, and this week Augusta gets them. And over non-conference, DeSoto 21, Royal 0, and Central, it gets back on track, 28, Merrill 14. Yep. All right, Todd, let's break it down first. Let's start with the Alaska Sparta game. That was obviously the big game coming into tonight, and I think it really delivered.
It was a good game. It was fourth quarter domination by Onalaska.
Yes.
With Sparta making it really interesting with that kick return in the middle of all of it. Onalaska had a nice long touchdown drive to start the fourth and go up 21-7. Sparta runs the ensuing kickoff back 90 yards after bobbling it and escaping a couple of defenders right there. So they get within 21-14 with 7-something left, and then Onalaska ran the clock out. It comes down to a 4th and 4 at Sparta's 41-yard line. There was a minute 8 left. Hilltoppers decided to go for it, and on 4th and 4, Nathan Lubinski goes 30 yards, takes it down to the 11, and they're able to run the clock out. So very impressive fourth quarter for Onalaska tonight in a game that Sparta just kind of hung in throughout.
And Lubinski, let's go with Lubinski first off. The guy dominated the fourth quarter, like you said, had over 200 yards rushing tonight.
Had about 100 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, 100 in the fourth quarter. You mentioned the 4th and 4 play there at the end. He took the direct snap. 30 yards.
Direct snap went to his left, and that offensive line played really well. And I was talking to Sparta coach Adam Dow after the game, and asked what it was like to watch his defense kind of get steamrolled there at the end of the game. And it's a defense that's played very well this year. And all you can say is Onalaska went out and made the plays. The offensive line did a really good job in moving things around. I don't think Sparta, it's not like they went out and just didn't tackle. Onalaska would do it, 4 yards here, 5 yards there. Lubinski also had another really good 9-yard run on a 3rd and 7 play when it looked like Sparta was kind of building some momentum, defensive momentum on that possession. They just didn't, they get within 21-14 and they don't get the ball back. Yeah,
that's tough when, of course, that happens, especially when you have a guy, and that's the way, like you said, that's the way you got to beat Wisniewski, though. Keep him on the sideline.
Exactly. Have him out there tackling people rather than you having to tackle him, and they did that. Sparta decided to split Wisniewski out a little bit today, completed a big pass to him on one play, and it's like, well, hey, this is going to work. But they got something out of it, but it was still a tough go against Onalaska's defense today. They had the touchdown drive that they had one big play in it, and then Nick Kent, he played really well today out at running back for Sparta. Had a 14-yard run for that touchdown, and he had some other big gains in there too. but it was just tough for Sparta to get into any kind of real offensive sync.
Yeah, I mean, Alaska, they really bottled up Wisniewski pretty well, and they were trying. Sparta was trying to do some things, move around a little bit. They moved that receiver a little bit.
Yep, it was he had 40-some rushing yards, 40-some passing yards,
Wow.
and he had I think it was a 35-yard catch on that play. So he still did some things out there, but they kept him out of the end zone.
Yeah,
and it's
I mean,
been
that's
a long
saying
time
something.
since anyone's been able to do that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he had 16 coming into tonight, didn't he? Averaging 4 a game.
Yeah.
I mean,
going back to last year, I don't know if there was a game last year he didn't score on. I'd have to go back and look, but it's been a long time since he's played a game and not scored a touchdown. And Alaska did the job.
And Alaska also, Jess Undell had an interception return for a touchdown.
That was a big play, 7-7 game, and there was 26 seconds left in the half, and picks off the pass around the 35. That was a play where they had Wisniewski split out, so they had Stussel in there at quarterback, and he got picked off, and Undell took it to the end zone, 14-7 lead, and that was pretty big. It really gave Alaska some good momentum and something to be happy about going into halftime.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, Sparta's probably both teams were thinking tie game going to the half. Sparta's probably thinking, hey, can we get some points before the half? And then all of a sudden, just a complete switch of momentum.
And Tommy Shinsky, the Alaska coach, said that was a game changer.
Yeah.
And Adam Dow said it was a backbreaker.
Yeah,
Just one play.
That sums it up right there.
Yep.
Right there. All right, let's jump. We'll go to Logan West Salem for right now. Logan, Max Harsey had a big game today. Really handled the Panthers. I know that Eric was at that game, a reporter. He was telling us, West Salem had 14 rushes for 76 yards rushing in the first half. Max Harsey had that by himself in the first half.
Well, West Salem fell behind the 8 ball right away with the first two plays and turning the ball over, and that's just something that they couldn't do in a game like this. This was one that they had to look at as a winnable game based on the way the two teams have played this year. And I still, if you just look at numbers, and I wasn't at the game, but they lost 28-0. They had the 2 turnovers that were so bad. I think didn't Logan have a defensive touchdown in that game too?
Yes.
So West Salem didn't play bad defensively in this game, I don't think.
Seems like we say that every week.
Again, you look, and that's just by going by numbers. It's just been tough for them to get anything going offensively. So I think it's probably real disappointing for them to get shut out in a game like this, where, like I said, this had to be one that you had to have hope going into.
And Todd mentioned those two back. They got behind the 8 ball right away. West Salem. They had a muff fumble that Max Harsey brought back, scoop and score for a touchdown. And the very next offensive play for West Salem, they had a
that's what it was. So at least it was those 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
They may have had a couple of touchdowns.
And it was like I said, it was 14-0 right away, and especially on 2 plays like that. Two things that are. That's got to be tough.
Especially if you're West Salem and everything's kind of gone against you this year.
Yeah.
That's just not the way you want to start.
And, let's go to Caledonia. That's the game I was at.
Eli King.
That was, man, my biggest takeaway was just watching Eli King. He had one play where, I've watched the video probably 30 times. It's going to be on lacrossetribune.com, by the way, that video. But, I mean, he had one play where just, he's coming across the middle and it grabs a low throw, looks like it might be going out of bounds, plants his leg, spins around the one defender, meets another defender about 10 yards head on, jukes that guy out of his shoes, absolutely out of his shoes. The guy was left grasping for air, and then took it 50 yards to the house. It was just, he also had an 88-yard kickoff return for a touchdown to open up the second half. I mean,
he's special.
We were told, Todd, that Eli was going to be the best one out of the bunch, but man, the last couple months have really showed us something with his development here.
Well, he showed over the summer what a special basketball player he's going to be. The AAU circuit, he had a really good summer, but man, he's really doing things on the football field now. I saw him in week 1, and he had an amazing play on a punt return that he took back for a touchdown. That was just went in, going full steam and scooped the ball up and made one cut and was gone. And in that game, he also had a couple of touchdown catches. Those are the only 3 times he touched the ball. He had touchdowns. And one, he broke a tackle. One was near the goal line, and then another one, he broke a tackle, about the 20 or 25 and took it in from there. So, real impressive player, and on such a good team, and to stand out on that team is something. And Noah's King, his brother, is having a great season at quarterback. 4 touchdown passes, I think.
4 touchdowns,
So he's having a really good throwing season too.
And and Eli, like you said, he only catches touchdowns. He had 2 catches, 69 yards, 2 touchdowns today, 88-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. And he's just that guy that, one of those players where everyone, as soon as he gets the ball, everyone just stops and looks at. It just stops immediately. It doesn't matter if there's kids. Yeah, exactly. I think they're a little bit odd. It doesn't matter if the kids are playing at that green space in Caledonia behind the end zone there. Everyone stops and watches Eli King play. And he reminds me, when he has the ball in his hands, he reminds me a lot of actually Johnny Davis, because those two they just have that it factor. They just glide across the field. It's just so easy for them too. And Eli had a really good punt return as well. He actually ended up fumbling it at the end, but
Eli.
Yeah, he missed. But it was another one of those runs where it's like, how did he get 40 yards there? You know what I mean? It's like that doesn't make any sense. It should have gotten probably 7 or 8, and the Caledonia defense was stellar once again. Chatfield, I thought, kind of played pretty well, actually. Honestly, they played well in the second quarter too. They played well. Just Caledonia had an interception in the end zone as well, and another fumble they recovered late in the. And Straub had a pick 6 to begin the game. Kind of really set the tone, and then King the next connection for 24-yard score made 14 zip, 3 minutes into the game, and like I said, it was 27-0 at the end of the first quarter there, and it was a bloodbath. But it was really just impressive just to watch Caledonia really just kind of do their thing and manhandle a team like Chatfield, who they said was going to be probably their stiffest.
It's always,
their stiffest competition, and they just ran right over them.
Yep, that's kind of what they've.
And now they have Rochester Lords, who before the season we were looking at circling that on their calendar, but
winning the 3A championship last year. The Lords is not the same team this year, so
they've lost 3 in a row.
May, if they're not from the area, would see that the two are playing and think that's going to be a really big deal, and it will be a big deal if Caledonia goes in there and wins. No matter what Lords is, it's defending 3A champion, and you're playing up a class, and if they go win that, it's a nice new feather in the cap of the nation's longest winning streak.
Yep, at 58 games, baby.
So
58
go for
games.
59 against another state champion next week, and we'll see how that goes for them.
Yeah, and let's jump over to GT. We have to talk about them.
We have to, don't we?
They had 3 rushers finish over 100 yards today. Bryce Burns doing his normal thing, pounding guys. Vance on the outside over 100 yards, but Davis Wenthy, added 100 yards on the ground too. 3 guys,
there too.
3 guys having over 100 yards. I mean, what does that just say about this team that are just continually doing this? Too?
And they were being challenged.
Yeah.
In that game for a while, it was tough going at the beginning, and then something happened and they broke it wide open. I thought, when you look at the final score, that's kind of what I thought the game would be. But throughout the night, you're getting updates, and it's a close game, and it's like, how is Mauston hanging with them? They play well defensively throughout the season, at least at this point, 4 games. But GET found something to do in that game, and Mauston couldn't handle it. So I'm sure it had a lot to do with Mr. Burns.
Yeah, I saw you had 25 carries. I can imagine, because that Mauston defense has been on the field a whole lot this year. Their offense has not done them a whole lot of favors, and I can imagine that's kind of what happened today. Is just a steady diet of Bryce Burns up the middle, and then Luke Vance on the outside. That's a deadly combination right there for no matter who's facing them. And let's go to Aquinas here. 42-13, the big win, 4th win in a row for them. Will Cambio, another great game tonight. A couple long touchdown receptions, but Gavin Wetzel too tonight. I mean, he 6 of 8 over 200 yards on 6 completions.
We talked about it before the games on Friday that he's making plays when he needs to make them, and he's maximizing them right now. Like you said, the couple long ones, Cambio and Wetzel. He was in a tough spot last year just because his team was in such a different place. Then he got hurt, so it's nice to see him come back and be able to get out there and have some success. I mean, that's the case of the whole team, but watching Wetzel, and he can run the ball too when he needs to. It's weird saying he does all these things when he needs to. That's kind of the role he plays with that team, because they have other guys that can do things too.
And Wetzel's a good athlete too. I mean, he had that serious injury last year, and he had a serious knee injury, but he came back remarkably quick, remarkably quick that you expect that type of injury would. Not great, so they're in a good spot right now. I think Aquinas.
They need to be with the next 3 weeks.
Yes, they faced Mineral Point
and Lancaster all coming up, so there's going to be 3 tough weeks. I mean, it's been all roses to this point. That's not going to be the case the next 3, unless they win, of course. then it's the biggest wins they've had in a while. If they win those games, but they're one win away from a playoff berth, and they haven't been in the playoffs in a while. So, big night for Aquinas and getting that win.
It's good to see Aquinas really have some success too. We talked about this a few times, but it's good to always see teams that have been down for a while really start to find their groove a little bit. And like Todd said, they have a grueling stretch the next 3 weeks.
Yes,
we're about to find out a lot about them, and it's going to be fun on the watch. But for tonight, that'll wrap up what we're doing here tonight. As always, find everything we did tonight on lacrossereview.com. And Sunday we're going to have follow-ups. Todd will have a follow-up from his story.
On Alaska game, we'll have a Caledonia follow-up. We'll have something on Logan and the road that it faces now that they got to win and want to start challenging for the playoffs. Eric will do another story, talk to Casey Noble a little about that. So there'll be more to say on that, and lots of videos, and lots of stories and everything. LacrosseTribune.com.
Yep, lacrossereview.com. As for me, Alex VandenHouten, and for Todd, that'll be all for us tonight. Take care.